I was born in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Still reside there today?
Yes, sir, I do. I'm still there.
Certain part of Tulsa you represent?
I represent the north side, North Tulsa.
Now, growing up, what was Tulsa like during that time?
Shit, it was rowdy. You know, especially on the north side. It all depends who you grew up around, and you know what side of the north you was from. You got your Crips, you got your Bloods, and, you know, you got real deep north, middle north, but yeah, it was the normal north shit. I mean, normal tough shit, you know.
Did you end up joining a gang yourself?
Yeah, you can say that. You can say that.
Which one?
Deuce, Blood.
And do you remember what age you were when you became a part?
Shit, I was about 14, man, too young.
And what was your reason to join back then?
My reason to join, I mean, really, I was just in the streets a lot, and I met a lot of friends, and you know, a lot of real cats that was with it, and you know, I was just initiated, man. You know, I never really I didn't get like beat up or nothing, you know.
Jumped in.
Yeah. I was more initiated, just doing things, you know.
Were you the only one in your biological family that was a member of this?
Well, I mean, I don't want to necessarily say I was a member. I was more of a affiliate.
Okay.
Yeah. I wasn't like the game and you know. I wasn't crazy. But yeah, that's more of the side that I related to. So that's more the side I ran with. So but yeah, it's just me. I got family members. I got siblings that's from the other side though.
How does that work?
It worked great. It worked great actually, cause he well respected, I'm well respected. So when you got respect, it should be fine, you know.
And this was a sibling that same mother and same father as you?
Same mother for sure. It's my little brother, Free Joe.
Now, sorry about the pause. I have so many questions, and I'm trying to figure out where I want to begin. You mentioned that you were in the streets young.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And growing up financially, what class was you and your family in? I know that in American society, people get placed in classes. There's poor, lower middle class, middle class. I'm sorry. There's poor, there's lower middle class, there's upper middle class, there's rich.
Right.
How did it start for you growing up?
I mean, now that I'm grown, you know what I'm saying? I know it was poor, but shit, you know, then I felt like it was middle class. I wasn't, you know, lights was on, water was on, you know. I was, mama worked hard, so, you know, shout out. Ain't no disrespect. I wouldn't say we was just poured in, you know. I felt like I was took care of.
But as, like you mentioned, growing up now, you realized that that was poor.
Right.
Was your family ever able to move higher up in class as you grew up? Or did they stay in that financial class there?
Unfortunately not. Nah, we ain't moved up yet. I'm trying to be the chain breaker. You know, break the chain. But shit, we gonna get there though.
You mentioned your mother in this interview. What happened to your father?
Oh shit, you tell me. Nah, I don't know, man. I couldn't tell you.
You've seen pictures of him. You know who he is?
No.
Never seen pictures?
No, never seen pictures. Never heard a voice. You know, never none of that.
Was there another male figure in your life growing up?
Not necessarily like a stepfather, but you know, I mean, when you growing up, when you're growing up and you trying to find it, you find certain, you know, male role models to you kind of see what you like and you kind of take from them. You know, I had at least one for sure. Yeah, but yeah, for sure.
But it wasn't a biological family member.
Nah, it wasn't a biological family member. Unfortunately, it was I mean, it was nah, it wasn't, man. It wasn't. You know, it like where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? In my culture, uh, everybody your cousin. You know, everybody your auntie. You know, so shit. Who knows, man?
Um, there was no step parent in your life. Your mother would have boyfriends as you were growing up?
Yeah, for sure. But to be honest, I was adopted. Yeah, so my mama didn't really take care of me, then my auntie did. And all she did was work hard, show me how to grind, and you know, try to keep food on the table and shit like that.
And now this was your aunt on your mother's side that adopted you.
Right. Right.
What's the status of your biological mother at this point?
She doing well. She well. Yeah, she well. I know her. Yeah, we definitely we good. That's what you asked.
Yeah.
Yeah, we good.
Do you remember what age it was when you actually become adopted by your aunt?
2 years old. Yeah, I was 2.
And did you, I know we talked about a variety of details here, but did you state why your mother let you go get adopted by your aunt?
Nah, I mean it's the typical, you know, shit, having a baby too young, you know, type shit. Couldn't really do what you needed to do. And my aunt, she's a little older. You know, she kind of took care of my mom a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So, and it was really weird. It's really my grandmother that took me in, and but she died when I was 4. So you know, my auntie started holding it down, and then she became my mother.
And grandmother, how did she pass, if you don't mind me asking?
She passed a heart attack.
Is that something that runs in your family?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Man, yeah, I'm not really sure about the family background, unfortunately.
Do you, because it was young when this happened to you, do you actually remember grandmother passing away from this and your aunt actually taking guardianship of you?
That's crazy you say that. I do remember. I remember one night, just a lot of ambulance at the house. Yeah, and you know, I'm just like, what's going on? It's crazy, and they came and picked her up, and I mean, that's all I really remember of her. That's the crazy part.
So you didn't see the heart attack happen. You just
Right.
remember the image of the ambulance and
Right,
them
right,
taking her.
right. Yeah, man. Fortunately, I never witnessed that. That could be traumatizing.
Your mother, having you very young, was she a teenage parent? A teen mom, as they would
Yeah,
say?
probably like 15, 16. Yeah, probably like 15, 16. And you know, back then, it's crazy.
So when your aunt actually takes over guardianship of you,
Yeah.
as you grew up, your mother was still in your life? Your biological mother was still in your life?
Yeah. She was. I would like go over there summertimes and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like go over there summertimes and things of that nature. But we were never really like you know, super close. Shit, I ain't never really been super close with like no motherly figure. No motherly figure, to be honest. Like even me and my auntie, like we was good. She worked a lot. She kind of, you know, did what she could.
Now, You did have a male figure in your life, and it was like a cousin, but it wasn't a biological cousin. But not growing up with a father,
Yeah.
what do you think the toughest thing was
Not
for
going.
you? Yeah.
Oh shit.
Looking back at your
Right.
past.
That's why I was finna say it's funny because you really wouldn't know until you become a man. You know what I'm saying? And shit. I mean, really just the small things like having somebody that's already been through the game. You know, already know the rundown. Can bless you with the knowledge because knowledge is power. You know what I'm saying? With a lot of knowledge, I would have had the power to do a lot of more things. You know.
Do you want to know your biological father? Do you want to know who he is?
Do I want to know? Do I want to know? Is like it's 50-50. Like I don't need to know. I don't want to know. I wouldn't mind knowing. Yeah, I wouldn't mind knowing though.
It would be some sort of closure, maybe, if you did know.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. I don't know if it would be closure. I don't know if I made it there yet with me and feeling a certain way about not having a father because like I never really had them nights like where my father, none of that I could remember. I just always just kept moving.
Would you want to know perhaps why he wasn't around?
Um, I mean I wouldn't mind knowing, but shit, I ain't really tripping. It's meant what's meant to be is meant to be. I'm here at the DJ Smallz interview, so you know that's a blessing in my eyes.
Do you have children yourself?
Yes, sir. I do. I got 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl.
Were you a teenage parent?
Yo. Unfortunately, I was
What age were you when you had your first child?
16. I was 16 when it was going down. I was 17 when he was 1.
And it was your son at first.
Mm-hmm.
Because your father wasn't around, and was this the same mother for all of the children that you had?
Nah.
How many different mothers?
I have 3 kids and 3 baby mothers.
Because your father wasn't around, was that imperative or important for you to be around for your own children?
115%, for sure.
Do you overdo it, perhaps, because your father wasn't around?
Do I overdo it?
Yeah, do you overdo fatherly duties? Do you
Right.
overdo things because your father wasn't around? Almost like compensating for him not being around, so you're gonna...
Right. Nah, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. It's really weird, man. I don't really know how I became the man I am today. Well, I do, God, but nah, I really don't. It's just like I know experience is the best teacher, and I kinda be the big brother and the son. I mean, and the father to my son, and I try to do a little both, friend, everything.
Now, growing up financially, it was poor. But when you were looking at it back then, it was middle class, how you would describe it.
Right.
And I remember you saying you entered the streets
Right.
Early. And I would assume it was because of the financial class you were in.
Right.
How young did it start? You remember what age you were when you got into street activity?
I mean, actually, street activity, shit, man, probably like 12. Maybe 11, man. Man, maybe 10. Nah, it's ugly, man. I mean, and it's no knock. It's no knock, to my mother. Like she was doing her thing, but it's only a certain amount she could do. And I'm a boy. Like at the time, like like I said, experience is the best teacher. I gotta learn for myself. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't never really been in too much trouble. Luckily, I was on the smart side.
At 10 years old, though, if that is when street activity began for you, in the city of Tulsa, was that too young back then, in those times?
In those times, man,
Were you one
nah.
of the youngest?
I mean, yeah, I was definitely probably one of the youngest because, you know, I had a lot of, 14, 13-year-old friends and things of that nature. That's really how it start, is the older crowd, you know. You know, you hang with the older crowd and then you start doing things that you don't have a father to tell you don't do, you know. Nah, ain't no excuses, but shit, you know. Yeah, something like that.
And what types of things did you get into back then? How did it start?
I mean, unfortunately, just like small things like, you know, theft, um, little shit, probably stealing some bikes, probably stealing some candy, you know, a lot of dumb shit.
Petty stuff.
Shit, it wasn't petty then. It's petty now for sure though.
As you got older, street activity got deeper for you?
Yeah, it did, but I say probably like I said, it was at an early age, so I learned fast, and I'm a wise man, you know, before a smart man, so I was learning from others, and I seen a lot of things I didn't want that to bring to my life, and then I had a son early, so that, you know, that changed me and made me start doing some shit different. So I mean, I really wasn't like in and out of jail type kid and none of that shit.
There were times you were incarcerated, though?
Nah, to be honest, you gotta be smart, man. You gotta be smart. Nah, no.
I know that street activity, aside from incarceration, a certain level of stress one will go through.
Right.
That looking over your shoulder, feeling, sometimes violence,
Right.
sometimes death.
Right.
You were able to avoid incarceration, but what about violence? What about death? Did you ever have a near-death experience, perhaps?
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, that come with it. That come with it. That come with it. But I mean, like I said, I'm in the beer or some shit, so all that shit don't even matter.
How close was it to death, though?
I ain't never been shot. I've been shot at. I done been in situations where, you know, car crashes and shit happen. Not necessarily because of street situations, but just, you know, near-death period, really.
But the shooting, that was street-related.
Yeah, right. And that was too early to be in some shit like that.
That was like wrong place, wrong time, or that was intended for you?
It's a little both. It wasn't man, it's weird. I done been shot at a few times, right? Like I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it like one time we was in Oklahoma City and we was just doing a show. I was opening up for Kevin Gates and shit. I'm from Tulsa, you know. We went down to Oklahoma City, and this was probably this was probably a minute ago, probably 4 or 5, maybe 6 years ago. And they just start spraying, man. You know what I'm saying? Start spraying the whole neighborhoods and shit, and a lot of people was like wondering if it was, you know, because of the situation we was bringing to the function. But I don't know, shit. I'm here, so all that shit don't matter.
Now, I know when you had your first child at 16, I think you said?
Yeah.
When you had your first child at 16, and you switched things up, I believe that's what you also said.
Mm-hmm.
Was it a gradual progression on switching up from street activity towards something else, or was it an instant flip of a switch?
I mean, to be honest, the streets really wasn't it really wasn't a main priority or like a main thing for me. Like sports really was.
Okay.
I was really into sports, so like I was really known for the sports, you know, and like football and shit. The street shit, don't nobody really know unless you really know me. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I was that low key with it. Like shit. I mean, you if you know who I am, you really know who I am from sports. You know who I am from music. You don't know who I am from streets. So it's like I don't even want to portray like I was just deep in them streets. I'm a street cat, but I wasn't like you know, knee deep in the trenches in the streets and shit.
Now, when it came to school,
Yeah.
and we'll talk about sports and music in a second, but let's start with this.
Right.
When it came to school, what kind of kid were you in class, overall speaking? Would it be an athletic description or something else?
In school, I was, man, I don't know, man, you got me. I don't know. I mean, from my understanding, I was, I was like, you know, the kid that's athletic and good in sports, and I mean, you could say I was like one of the popular kids, I guess.
How young did football start for you?
Man, football started for me, like kind of late, man. I was probably like in the 5th grade, and I was weak. I was weak. I was like chubby and shit. They tried to have me on the line as a lineman, but I was fast though. And the cat I was just talking about that was, you know what I'm saying, something like a father role model. He was like my coach / father. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Ro. Yeah, it was he would kind of like teach me how to be a man, cause you know 5th grade and shit, and all of a sudden I just got really good in the 6th grade. It was like that quick, and yeah, and it was the rest history on that.
How'd you get introduced to football?
Um, Melvin Rowe, he just you know, typical coach looking for kids to play, and I was just really, like I said, with the family situation, like he was already close to the family. I was like over his house a lot, you know, things of that nature. He had a basketball team too, the Soldiers. So I was in the basketball, I was in the football, and then he kind of just raised me on the sports tip and kind of showed me the potential I got as far as those type of abilities.
And how far did you get with football in school? Are we talking varsity?
Like before I stopped,
Yeah.
shit, probably like freshman year in college, Langston. Yeah.
You got an athletic scholarship for football.
Right.
What position did you play in high school and that first year in college?
I played running back. I played running back in college as well, but unfortunately, I was very shorted. So shit, that first year was kind of rough. You know what I'm saying? I was going to school. You know that when you playing football, you gotta wake up at 5:30 and shit like that. It was like a whole different schedule than my high school. Like my high school didn't get me prepared for college football, and to be all the way fair, I was just really good at something that I wasn't passionate in. Like I was passionate in music, and I was always great in music. Like since the freshman year, like I would have a CD with one song on it, you know, like selling it for $1. Like people remember me, you know, hustling that type of way and shit. So I don't know, like yes, it stopped in college freshman though.
And why did it actually stop? What was the reasoning there?
Um, Man, to be completely honest, my mother got sick before I graduated high school, and
Biological mother?
Nah.
Your aunt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She got sick like right before I graduated high school. She couldn't even make the graduation. So that I ain't gonna lie, that was kind of traumatizing. You know what I'm saying? I'm only like 16, 17. I'm trying to do big things. You know, I'm thinking I'm finna get a car when I graduate. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a nice little step. This is the next step you need to make it, to make success come a little quicker. That gap. You know what I'm saying? So So yeah, man, after she got sick, it was really just, just me trying to do it as like a 17-year-old, man.
She was able to survive the sickness?
Yeah, thank God she was able to survive it for sure.
What was she sick from?
She had her colon ruptured. Yeah, it was bad, man.
You don't hear about that happening too often.
Right.
I do a lot of interviews, never heard it.
Right. It's crazy, man. But she survived, so shit, it's a blessing.
Now, you quit because of that? Like, you quit because you have to take care of her some sort of way?
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't necessarily quit because of that. I quit because, like I said, I'm in college, man. I'm 17. Now. I ain't got no funds, bro. I ain't got no money. Like shit. Like she was my breadwinner, and you know what I'm saying. And like I said, yeah, she went down, man. A lot of stuff went down. So I'm in college. I'm trying to get it in. Luckily, I got real friends. You know what I'm saying. My producer, shout out Two Piece. You know what I'm saying. He would like he had a mother, and a father. They would send him food and shit like that. So he would always hook me up, you know what I'm saying, with his food and things of that nature. And I would get it in myself working, but man, really music took over, and I just dipped, man. I only did one semester, and I went back to Tulsa and hit the studio and shit and perfected my craft. I felt like I was wasting too much time.
So you didn't have a popping song or anything at the time you make this decision?
Hell nah. I ain't have popping grind. I mean, I didn't have a popping song. I just had a lot of faith and a lot of will. I don't know. It's like it's just something tell you what you made for. Like something just tells you what your destiny is, and it's like I had one of them epiphanies, and I just did.
Now, looking back, hindsight 2020, at your life, at your experiences,
Right.
did you make the right decision there?
Did I make the right decision?
Quit football, quit the athletic scholarship, quit
Right.
college,
Right.
and go straight into music?
Right. I definitely made the right decision.
Why?
I made the right decision because, for one, I'm not in stupid debt like everybody else in college. I'm not in dumb debt, man. I hit the ground running at an early age. I had to learn how to get it in for myself, and it's really helped me as far as life-wise. Cause I mean, school, to me personally, school kind of overrated. They ain't really teaching us what we need to know. They kind of teaching us what they want us to know, So shit, it's a lot of real knowledge that could be taught outside of school, and I was getting that knowledge. So without that knowledge, I wouldn't have the senses, the common sense, the grind, any of what I got now. If I was just in there trying to do what somebody else wanted me to do.
Do you wish that you would have bypassed college altogether and the experience that you did have and just went from high school straight to this music? Or are you glad you at least got a little piece of college experience?
Right.
So you could have made the right decision and, know what it's like or feels like instead of just bypassing it altogether?
Nah, you asked me if I feel like I made the right decision going that little time I went?
Yeah, so do you take yourself back and you say, you know what, I shouldn't have even went to college. I should have
Right.
went straight to music after I graduated high school. Or do you say to yourself, I'm glad I got a little sample of what college experience and that athletic scholarship and playing
Right.
on that football team was to know I didn't want this anymore. I wanted to go straight to music.
I mean, now,
Yes. Hindsight
now,
2020, looking back.
right,
at your life.
right. Nah, I'm happy I went for my semester. I'm happy I went for sure because I mean, like I said, it's kind of like a bird flying from the nest. You know what I'm saying? Like that was my first flyaway. You know what I'm saying? So shit, I'm going down here. I'm by myself. I gotta figure out how to get it in. I got a few solid homies, and nah, I really wouldn't change nothing.
What was your aunt's reaction to you making that decision to quit college, to drop out?
I mean, shit. I mean, at the time, I mean, she couldn't. she wasn't able to make it, you know. Any type of emotion to it. It was really just trying to stay alive, to be honest.